Okay, good morning guys. So this is me sans makeup. The only thing, my security alarm is going off for some reason all the time now. Updating, ignore that. So this is me when I first wake up. So anyway, today we're gonna do a more natural look, something that you can do quicker. You don't have to do all this insane contouring and highlighting, so this is gonna be a lot easier for you. I have some minor irritations, breakouts. I have an allergy right here, which is super itchy after waking up for some reason. I have sinus issues, so all of this is gonna create redness and blotchiness and unevenness in the face. So what I did was I washed it and exfoliated lightly with the Cetaphil that I told you about. That was what I washed with, and just exfoliated lightly with the apple cider vinegar and the baking soda. So I have this. This is one of my favorite, oh my god damn. This is one of my favorite products in the entire world. I run out of it a lot. Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. So just mist this over your ugly face, and it will hydrate, and it will also help seal anything you're gonna put on right now. Is the vitamin C serum, which I told you guys about in my favorites, my goats products the other day. It has a little dropper. This is not oily at all. Rub it. Like I said, in my goat products, the Miracle Retinol Moisturizer, which is from Radha as well. Both of these products can be found on Amazon. They're very cheap. They've lasted me a year. Get some of this. I'm using this as primer instead of a primer because I don't feel like doing the primer, the setting spray, the contour, the setting powder. Like I said, today, we're all about the basic look. If you don't want to use these more harsh and more drying products with retinol and vitamin C, and you don't have oily skin, this is really good too. It's a knockoff of Cetaphil, just gentle moisturizing lotion for sensitive skin. It's fragrance free. I have the knockoff version of Cetaphil. Found it at a drugstore, and I do use that on and off when my skin starts to become dry. So now we've done our basic start. I like BB creams a lot. Like I always say, they're not heavy. Another one of my favorite things about the BB cream is that it normally has an SPF in it. So I'll be using the matte BB cream in Light by Rimmel. So I'm gonna put some in my hand. I'm also going to mix this, as we've spoken about in detail, with the Insta Flawless by Rimmel as well. This is in light medium. It's a radiating tint, and I like to mix these together. You will see it makes a difference, but not a huge difference. This is also the first time I'm trying to do my makeup through the camera, so this is the hardest part. Make sure, I used to not think this was a necessary step, but it is. Make sure that you get your upper eyelids. It's very important, especially for people like me who have these thin, veiny eyelids, thin, translucent skin, prone to redness, prone to grease. So this will be more of an everyday, during the day look, just to accentuate things you already have and not really trying to hide anything. Okay, so see, not a huge difference, but some of that redness is gone. Good. I don't look like I'm dying anymore. I start with my eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, you're gonna wanna start with something that is more natural looking. For me, pink looks really great, a light pink. Some people will be a taupe or a little bit lighter than that. So I'll just do with what I look best in, because that's all that matters. From the Hard Candy palette, I'm using this one. And it is Top 10 Eyeshadow Collection, Pinking of You. Oh my God, see what they did there? Like I said, I do most things with my fingers. So. And I always go full eyelid and then a little bit above the eyelid because I personally have hooded eyebrows, hooded eyelids. Okay, so we've got a little shimmer there. I'm not gonna do the super bright highlight in the middle of the eyes to open them up today because we're doing a simple look. We're doing the NYX Wonder Pencil in light. This Wonder Pencil is wonderful. I used it in the Galactic makeup video to make my eyes appear larger. So that has really opened up and brightened the eyes. Now we're gonna get to the top. For the top, we are just gonna use my favorite Almay Intense Eye Color. And I have both Brown Topaz and Black Raisin. They're very similar colors. It's kind of a brown purple. And it's very flattering to green eyes, and it's very flattering to a lighter skin tone, especially if it's prone to reds. I use this as a lip liner with almost every single color lip that's possible, and it goes with everything besides the blue. And I also use this as an upper eyeliner and a lower lash liner. And like I said before, in my other video, you're just going to smudge this into your lash line and give it a really natural look. Make sure there's no spaces between those lashes where there's no product. See, that gives you a really nice, natural, not too dark, not too harsh line. Now, here's the trick to this. I am still going to use the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. The reason for that is because, like I said, I do like a little cat eye. I can use the Almay to make a little cat eye. The problem with that is it does not stay very long. Like I said, this isn't a true kohl, but it's not, you know, it's not dry either. It's not long staying. So what I like about it is when I smush it like this into the lashes a little bit above the lash line throughout the day, it will look even more put together because it falls perfectly into the lash line. The problem with that is it will fall here as well. So to keep that line crisp, but not too fake looking, we're gonna do a less dramatic version of the one that we did the other day for the more glam galactic look. So what I'm going to do is literally just do a smaller triangle. See, much less dramatic than the other day. Brow time. So while this dries, let's work on our brows. So, since we're going for a more natural look, I could go with a little bit of a darker brunette that would match my roots. But I have sort of an ombre happening here, totally accidental. So we'll do a taupe today from NYX Micro Pencil. These are my favorite, as I said. It's a very, very small pencil, and it makes it easier to get in here and do these little hairs. What I'm gonna do is a thicker brow. I'm basically gonna keep it the same as mine and just add where there's baby hairs. A little bit darker. See, just give a little bit more shape and definition. As we all know, I love the spoolie. Just brush them up. And the over. Already a huge difference, guys. For the natural look, I don't need to highlight the brow bone. You can if you really want, but it is something that can look very artificial in the sun and during a daytime. So now I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I'm gonna do 2 clamps and they're gonna be pretty light. The first clamp I'm gonna do is at the base of the eyelashes, and it's just gonna be a straight on clamp. Straight on. There we have the 1 pump. And now I'm gonna pump once again, but I'm gonna pump almost vertical. So wait to close it until I have it kind of straight out like this. Right after you do that, you are basically already putting on your mascara because you want to hold that curl. This is kind of like, mascara is kind of like a hairspray for eyelashes. Mascaras at about $10 a tube are all made to do different things, and I have yet to find like a 10-in-1 mascara the way that they have concealers. So one will be lengthening, one will be curling, one will be thickening, one will be, it's like, can we just have that all in one? I want all the things. And now that that's dry, I'm going to use my favorite, which we've spoken about as well, the Voluminous Curved Lash from L'Oreal. Ooh, and this is in the black brown, which I was talking about the other day. It really is a much more natural look. Don't pump, but you can put in and kind of scrape around the ends of the tube. Another little trick is to get it upside down. And then flip it up. You can also do the back sides. I don't like to do that because it unreinforces the curl I just made. If your eyelashes get clumpy, see I have a few clumps, you can take a little safety pin or a paper clip, much safer than a safety pin, but let's be real, I do use a safety pin, and just lightly separate them after they're dry. If you want to keep your mascara lasting longer, all you have to do is put a few drops, maybe 2 or 3 little drops of contact solution into into the tube, close it, shake it, run it under hot water for maybe a full minute, and it will be almost like it's brand new. So now let's get to the lower dinghy. I'm just gonna do this 1 1/2-inch middle part. So not the end and not the front, just this middle. Just this middle. It gives a nice contrast to the eye and will make him appear larger as well. So I have this Sephora Make No Mistake High Coverage Concealer in Ginger. This color's not as thick as the one I showed you the other day. This is better for long-term wear if you want to save the really expensive $30 to $40 tube I showed you. And you're just gonna pat it, okay? Or if you have one of those beauty blenders, those are fine too. So one thing that I have learned and brought with me in my travels is instead of doing the half circles, which we all grew up doing, you're gonna go down like a V. You're gonna do like an upside down triangle instead. So onto your, you know, this stuff will give you extra product to bring down, so that's nice. So more of a straight down V, if you can imagine that. So take care of the most parts of your skin first. I always pat. and then get closer in here. Because if you get any of that Almay eyeliner on your fingers and then you come down here, you're gonna mess everything up. So because we did the V, we already basically highlighted our cheekbones and concealed our under eye circles in one step. So that's good. Now, here is one of my favorite products ever. It is called Tarte Flush Cheek Stain. You can find this on Amazon. It is a little bit more expensive. It's worth it. It lasts forever. So I'll show you how this works. I'm just gonna put it on your cheekbones. See that? It gives, so you're gonna do kind of like either a little oval or like more of a heart shape. And as you know with me, with everything, I'm going to let it sit. This is also for your lips. And this is a nice stain, it will stay on. As I'm letting that sit, let's do our lower lashes. Now that we've concealed. I'm using the brown, not the black, on the lower lash, and I used it very sparingly. You don't want to look like a doll. Unless you do, that's fine. If that's your natural look as a doll, get it. Now I just pat this in as well. You can use your beauty blender for this. I have a beauty blender that I do use for this. Like I said, I like to use my hands with a lot of things. I'm very hands-on. But my beauty blender is also dirty right now with purple, so I should get more. You're really just gonna blend in any of those harsh edges. And you know what? It really just blends in very beautifully. And that will stay and look like a very natural looking flush. There is one thing extra that I do because my eyes are on the smaller side. I will take the top of my Tarteist Pro Glow. The top is the silver highlight, and just dot the inner corner, okay? And then to open up the hooded eye, which you by now know I have, I'm gonna take this brush. I'm going to use that color that I love, the Wet n Wild Sweetest Candy eyeshadow palette, palette, right in the middle here. And I'm just gonna go right in the middle to the end, a little bit above my natural crease and into my actual crease. Now look at the difference between this eye and this eye. That's why I do this. It makes such a huge difference in opening up the eye. Perfect. So we've got our more natural look going on today. If you want to add little things, little highlights that you can't go without, go right ahead. You can do a little nose contour. Just a highlight of the bridge. You can do a little top of the lip highlight. You can do a little dusting highlight on the top of your cheeks. You can do whatever you like, but this look is very easy. It should last you all day. If you want to set it and don't want to use a setting spray, you want to keep your face hydrated and your skin calm, just about 3 sprays, again, of the rose water, and just let that dry, and it will dry great. As well, if you have super oily skin, don't be afraid to use this Pure Mineral finishing powder. This is from NYX, and it's translucent. So you can see how my face is kind of shiny. I don't mind that because it gives it more of a, it's natural. That's how my face looks. But if you don't like that, and you're worried that things will slide or imperfections will show up, the T-zone area is totally fine to use that on. I like a shinier cheek. If you don't, kill it. The best thing about this powder is doing right here, because since it sets that makeup on your jawline, it's less likely to get makeup when you hug someone, or when you're wearing a scarf, or when you're talking on the phone, or when you're touching your face. It's less likely to move that makeup and get it on other surface areas. So I hope you liked my more natural routine tutorial. I know a lot of you guys were talking to me about looking for a more natural, quick look. Like I said, once you get this look down, it should take about 5 minutes.